that.
In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions, only one podcast roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
What's the deal, Panther fans? It's your boy, Tony Dunn, a.k.a. The Professor. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast, brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com every Tuesday night, live, 9 p.m., the longest running Panthers podcast. That includes the damn Teams podcast. I challenged him. I say, hey, do you get up there every week? Nope, because we do. And we love the Carolina Panthers, and we hope you do as well. And if you don't, you can get in the chat room. And if you do, you can get in the chat room. And you can hang out with my homie, Cody Lashney, the co-host, the producer, the man, the myth, the legend. My man, I'm so glad to have you in the co-pilot seat, whatever it is, the seat, the challenge seat, whatever. Get up in there, brother.
Hey, man, as always, the song remains the same. There's nowhere I'd rather be on a Tuesday night than chilling right here with my boys, man, CK and Tony Dunn. And, of course, we have the most lit Panther fans in all of YouTube, the faithful that are here all year round. If there's no Panther football to be had or not, they remain loyal and in the chat room. Tony, you know, I'm talking Joey the Blind Panther Esquivel, Sideshow Rob, Diesel Drew, C-Dog, what's up, bro? Trill 1, Craig Cartner, 10, Tizzy, William Taylor, The Real Zero Chill, Tim Estes, Tony Dunn. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
Let's do it. CK in the house as usual, my man. Gosh, I'm telling you, welcome back, bro.
Yeah, I'm back. Here's the thing. We are 2 weeks away from training camp.
Ooh,
how can you not be happy?
2 weeks?
Isn't it the 28th?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's not far away, but it seems so far away. And then those stories are also barely stories, right?
Right.
So, is this our final year at
We're
Wofford?
begging.
Is this our final year at Wofford?
Ooh,
I don't know. I can't remember what year the practice or the new headquarters is going to be done.
Chat, we need help. Is this the final year for the Panthers at Wofford? Let us know.
The ties are not there anymore. That's for sure.
Right.
Yeah. Well, especially now that
David Tepper. I saw a headline because I try to follow some financial stuff as well.
Right.
And so I get, because Google's watching what I watch, right? And that's a good thing. For me, it's a good thing. I get stories that are generated towards me. And today is, I got something on the Google News today that was David Tepper in, it was like next venture, private equity with a tinge of sports. You know, so I don't know if Wofford is in the mix going forward. I would think Rock Hill would be the place,
right, when
it's finished, right? When they get the facility finished, why wouldn't they do it there?
Yeah, I mean, I think if it gets built relatively soon, yeah, that's going to be a big deal, man.
Right.
I mean, there's going to be shopping centers and all kinds of different stuff. I'd be much more willing to go there, knowing that there's more amenities and more cool shit around than
I don't know.
Spartanburg's
a cool city.
Yeah,
but Spartanburg's a cool town, man. Like, it's a cool city. They got some good breweries. It's hot as shit. And I don't believe that Rock Hill is going to be that less hot. You know what I'm saying? It's not like all of a sudden it's going to be like in the Arctic climate, but Spartanburg is a decent place. And there were some ties going back to Jerry Richardson, and that city has grown and grown and grown because of the what you guys live out there is at 85 or 77, whatever the corridor that takes you from Charlotte to Atlanta. It's right on it.
Yeah.
So they are a growing place, and it's not the worst place to hang out. And it's fun when you go to Spartanburg and you get to see players out at the wing joint. You know what I'm saying? Like you will run into them. It's not the worst place. I will say that. But I don't think David Tepper is willing to let those, I guess, profits go away. Yeah, it's a Wofford. Exactly. That's a great way to put it.
I don't disagree. I think it's, I mean, let's be honest. He's doing an entire headquarters. Why wouldn't he be anxious to get that up and running? Because that is going to be 100%. That's going to be a big project, and it's going to be a big revenue source for him and his team. So,
yeah, and I'm hoping that it's built in mind, knowing that it's going to be crazy hot, right? Like I'm hoping that they kind of figure that out. Maybe they have some more shaded areas or whatever.
Misting fans.
Yeah, something like just make it. You know, if you're in the Carolinas,
right,
especially South Carolina in the middle of summer, dude, it's hotter than hell. So, the real Zero Chill said he lives in the Berg and he says it sucks out there. That's just one man's opinion, man. I'm just putting the comments up on screen. But
tell me what tonight's show is, Cody. You set it up. You tell me the title. You introduce the show.
Franchise tag, and Taylor Mouton is it, because the 5 p.m. deadline has come and gone, and Taylor Mouton will be playing this year under the franchise tag. And I think this is something that we kind of all saw coming.
Right. You know, giant mistake. That's what I say. Giant mistake by the Panthers.
I mean, tell me I'm wrong. I kind of think this means that this is probably our last year with Taylor Mouton, huh? I mean, again, I saw someone on Twitter saying that maybe we attempt to re-sign him next year once we have some more salary cap.
We're going to lose that battle now.
Yeah, see, I kind of think so too. I think that this year he's going to play right or left tackle for us. I still don't know which. And then he's gone, man. And that sucks because every single offensive lineman in the past decade that we've developed to be even halfway worth of damn inevitably leaves us and goes somewhere else, and we don't pay him. And we're left having to do this piecemeal offensive line thing again. And I'm just, I'm tired of it. It's
irritating.
I can't get too mad right now because, again, we are going to have him for this year. But again, if no one emerges as a true left tackle talent this year, then that means we're going into next year needing a left tackle and a right tackle.
Right.
So, and then
what else do we got in before we delve too much into the Taylor Mouton story? Right. We've got to talk about Taylor Mouton, the passing of the franchise tag. And look, we've been saying it for over a year now, to be honest. Too late. I've been trying to tell y'all, mugs, get ahead of it. You get ahead of the inflation. Every year this goes up. They just caused Taylor Mouton to be more expensive next year, which they priced themselves out of Taylor Mouton. We'll talk about that in a moment. What else are we talking about tonight, Cody?
We are also going to be talking about Luke Kuechly sat down with Sports Illustrated and kind of went through what it's like going to training camp at each different stage of your NFL career. When you're a veteran and you don't know the playbook and you're learning and you're brand new to the NFL, then to after being there a few years and once you finally start to ingratiate yourself with the team and the fans, and then all the things later on in life when you're a veteran football player, how all those things are different. And I felt that would be a good conversation to have, and just talk about Luke, and who doesn't want to talk about Luke, right? And then
me.
Yeah, hey, listen.
I'm so sad because he's with the Redskins now, or with the Washington Football Not Warriors. Did you guys hear about their names? They can't be the Warriors. They tried to float the Warriors out there. Anyway, keep going.
But you're not breaking news. He didn't sign with them. You're just thinking that he's going to.
He spoke to their team like a motivational speaker. He left our team and said that he didn't want to be involved with football. He was tired of football. He wanted to fish. And then the next day, he was with Ron Rivera. Oh, I can't have it. All right, what else we got to talk about?
Yeah, and then PFF, and shout out to PFF's Twitter, man. They've been providing content for the podcast. They put out a list of their top 5 cornerback rankings in the NFL, and then compared them to ESPN's top 5 cornerback rankings. And I thought that would be good to talk about, especially considering there's a familiar name who is a top 5 player in this list, according to.
And he's not on the Panthers, I guess.
He is not on the Panthers currently.
He was.
Yeah.
He was.
He was. So you probably already can pick up what we're putting down as to who that is. But yeah, and then CK brought up, and I know, we mentioned this before a little bit, but CK and I fans get kind of pissy and butthurt when you talk about Cam Newton these days. But Cam Newton was in the news again, talking very candidly and openly about the final time that he was healthy with the Carolina Panthers. And
we all had it wrong, didn't we? Did
No,
we all
I
have
had
it
it
wrong?
Cody's had it
It
right.
was not. It was not
Cody.
the Benjamin interception.
yes,
it was the Benjamin
yes,
interception.
it was. He said
No, it was on the
explicitly that's
1
what it
yard
was.
line. It was on the 1 yard line.
Yeah,
That
and he
wasn't the
threw
same
it,
one.
Yes, and he threw the interception on the 1 yard line and had to chase it all the way down.
That
and
was
land-
the same. Okay.
But
Okay.
you must not be subscribed to Cam Newton's YouTube channel. You should,
No, I watched it, but I thought that there were so many Benjamin not run backs. I thought it was the Tampa. You actually know what? I challenge you on this. You said it was the Tampa Bay game.
No, I
Every
didn't.
time you said yes, you did. You
No,
said
I
it was the
didn't.
Tampa Bay
And
game, and he
CK
said
had
it was
right.
the Chargers game. He said it was
C-
the Chargers game.
No, CK can back me up.
Yeah,
CK
he was.
Yeah, I've
He was
always
talking
said
about. He was talking about it was
Benjamin.
Kelvin Benjamin's fault because he stopped on his route.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then-
that was the same in the Tampa Bay game as well.
but this was like Cam Newton had to chase down, and he landed. And this
Had to
Charger
do it
one
in the Tampa
landed
Bay
right
game.
on that.
No,
in
but I never-
2016 season.
But I
yeah.
never said it was Tampa
All
Bay though. And listen, we can dig back into the
C3
archives.
C3 chatters, get in that archive and tell me, did he say it was the Tampa Bay game or the Chargers game? But the exact same play either way.
Right. But
I mean,
here's
ultimately it was the same play.
I mean, if we're going to talk about it, I'll at least bring this up. Like, as much as I love Cam, he has said every year he's never felt healthier ever since that year. Every year. And now he's saying that again. Like, I've never felt healthier. I feel like I'm back to myself. I haven't felt this good since I injured it
what
back
else
in
do you say
2016.
right now?
Right? And
What else do
so,
you say?
like, there
Oh,
is
he
a part of
skipped
it.
my comment. Look at that.
the part that I think that I like, listen, I hesitate to say this because I love Cam so much, but it almost feels like, I mean, we all have felt like that could have been a turning point, but it's almost like he's now trying to do similar to what Kelvin Benjamin did, which was kind of say, if I had a quarterback that could throw me the ball, then I'd be all right. Like Cam Newton's now going back to 2016 to kind of make people believe that he's still the same player he was in 2015. I don't know that he is. I'd like to see him get to that form again. I don't know if I'd like to see him get to that form with the Patriots or not, but it feels a little too convenient for me.
So,
all right, you're listening to the longest running Panthers podcast. It's the C3 Panthers podcast. You can subscribe on YouTube. If you're not and you're watching it right now, you need to. That's it. Smash the thumbs up. We're on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, everywhere you get your podcast at. Periscope, all this. Follow, subscribe. The best thing you can do to help grow Panther Nation along with us, as we've been getting up here every Tuesday night for the last 9 years, is to just share it. That's it. I ain't asking for your money, ain't asking for anything. Just share the podcast with a friend and say, look, we hang out here on Tuesday nights and after the game and on Fridays with Cody as he does the fan show.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
That is the best thing you can do to support our show. Go ahead and throw that banner up because this show is powered by Avolta. If you want to achieve energy independence, you can hang out with our boy, Kevin Brown, solar consultant, also Panthers fan, right? We're doing this for him because we're buddies with him. No money down. You add equity to your home. If you're a homeowner in North and South Carolina, you can get solar panels on your house You can get a fixed rate for life. You can separate for you're a cord cutter. You're the coolest cord cutter. Screw the cutting the cord. You think you're cool cutting the cord with the cable company. Try cutting the cord with the electric company and going green, baby. Check out our boy Kevin Brown, solar consultant for Avolta 704. That's right. You heard it. 704. That's a Charlotte area code. 704-215-3373. Say you heard about Avolta on the C3 Panthers podcast and you're a Panthers fan. He'll say, look, I'm a Panthers fan too. I'm going to take care of you. We're going to hook you up. All right, Cody, let's jump into this show right away. Tell us, Taylor Mouton, the franchise tag has passed. It's gone. The deadline is gone. Why have the Carolina Panthers not have extended Taylor Mouton? I have no idea why they didn't do it last year or arguably the year before. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not? Why not get ahead of the curve, beat the inflationary cycle? When you sign this franchise tag and he becomes the top 3 guard or right tackle in the league, right? They average it among the top 4, top 3, something like that. All of a sudden, you have outpriced yourself. Why didn't we sign this mug last year?
I mean, this is something that we've been all asking ourselves. We don't really know why this wasn't done sooner. I mean, we've kind of already alluded to all the points, man. Taylor Mouton is our only real stalwart offensive lineman that you can depend on. Right. And I think that's important. And the fact that we don't have that, man, that's, or at least if we don't have that long term, it's upsetting because it looks like it's going to be really expensive to do after next year. And we have a lot of uncertainty on our offensive line right now. I believe
we have zero certainty. How about this? Not even uncertainty. Tell me what the certainty is outside of Taylor Mouton. Matt Paradis stunk in his first year coming off an injury. We understand. We try to even give Matt Khalil the grace of coming off a major injury. Paradis played better in his second year. But we have what? Cam Irving? Who do we got? Tell me. The Christensen kid. We have hopes and dreams. And the one hope and dream we had that was a reality was Taylor Mouton. We got nothing. We got nothing outside of him.
I think we've got some people that have potential, but you're right. There is no certainty. That's where, I mean, I wouldn't say there's zero certainty. I think that out of the people that we have on the team right now, I think one of them are very capable of breaking out this year, right? And I'm at least, I would say, I would guarantee one person other than Taylor Mouton will be considered a very good offensive lineman this year on this squad. And
say it. Who is he?
Listen, it depends upon the couple of movements that they make. Number one, let's see if they decide to make Greg Little move into guard, which I think we've all kind of felt like he needed to do anyway.
Well, that Cody did.
Yeah.
I don't think he's got the tenacity to play guard, to be honest.
He didn't have the tenacity he didn't have it to play the edge.
He better fight for his life, either on the edge or on the inside. If he wants to play NFL football, it's time to shit or get off the pot for Greg Little.
Well, I think so was last year too.
Yeah, but I think Christensen. I've said that from the beginning. I think that there's still a very good chance that he comes in and he's able to contribute at a higher level than we anticipate, at least in the current moment. Listen, that could be all just wishful thinking, but right now I'm wishing.
Scott Thomas says he thinks we might cut Little. How embarrassing would that be to cut a second-round pick that you traded up to get?
That'd be hysterical.
That Marty Hurney traded up to get.
Imagine trading a top wide receiver to the Buffalo Bills, and now he eats Bojangles every day. So it's not the most embarrassing thing. Kelvin Benjamin, somebody put up there is Kelvin Benjamin the worst pick in Panthers history.
Unquestionably.
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 You think who? What? What'd you say?
Wow.
Do we think who is?
I was thinking
He was a
Dwayne
first round
Jarrett.
pick.
Who
He was a first round pick and was drafted.
I mean, that's
to
a
be,
good argument.
And was drafted to be a number 1 wide receiver.
Oh yeah.
During the prime years of by far.
And we
the
could have
most
had Allen Robinson, bro. We could have had Allen Robinson. We could have had Allen Robinson, who the Chicago Bears are going to pay $17-20 million, whatever it is, this year on the franchise tag because they want to pay him for too long.
Right.
Allen Robinson, 8 years later or 7 years later, dominant force.
And Kelvin was picked what, number 13th? Or no, that was his number.
He was like
round.
28. He was
Yeah.
like 28.
I mean,
I don't think we can. NC Hager put up Jimmy Clausen. I don't think we can do that because it's a second round pick.
yeah, exactly.
Right?
I mean, I don't even know if
we could talk about the murderer Ray Caruth could be the number 1. I mean, like obviously that's easy.
Yeah, but again,
if we're talking about second round picks, I think Dwayne Jarrett is just as bad as anybody.
Well, I mean, again, it depends on what Greg Little does this year. So, what position did?
Oh, by the way, here and one counterpoint to that. It's not even a counterpoint. It's just like here's another one to think about. Salad Boy was also a second round trade up.
Right.
Yeah, but at least he did.
We traded up for Devin Funchess.
I mean,
yeah.
All right, you're right. You're right. Devin Funchess had a better career in Carolina than Greg Little. I agree with that. 100.
Plays. So listen, Sideshow Rob says Kelvin wasted Cam's prime years. Dude, not only did he waste Cam Newton's prime years, he was the sole reason that the prime years came to an end.
Right.
The sole reason that they came to an end.
Should we go ahead and get into that then? While we're talking about?
I already have it.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about it.
We can definitely do it. So listen, I'm just gonna, instead of talking about it, I'm just gonna let the man Ace Boogie himself just tell you what's going on. Oh, hang on, wait. I gotta share the sound. I didn't share the sound.
It's okay. We're ready for my man. We miss him. We all get excited. We all get anxious when he comes in the room.
No, we did not get rid of Steve Smith because of Benjamin. We got Benjamin because we got rid of Steve Smith.
After that damn San Diego game, we played the San Diego Chargers, and I reached out and I dove for the pylon. No, I threw an interception.
Look at that. Kelvin Benjamin didn't even try to tackle him.
What's he gonna do at that point, man? What the fuck's he gonna do at that point?
And I tried to push him out.
What do you mean? He didn't make a play on the
Cam working his ass
ever
off
since
down
then,
there.
bro.
Cam Newton working his ass off down there.
He said his AC joint. He said he fucked his AC joint up. I saw it. I watched this shit.
Yeah, because
look how fat this dude beside him looks, man.
But the point being, look, you can see it right there on film. I'll go ahead and back it up in case this needs to be
go back to the beginning. Look. He could have tried, but then he gets blocked out of bounds.
I'm gonna step by step. One, you're no, hang on. You're a 6'5" fucking receiver, 245 pounds, and you let this dude just bullet you out the way for a jump ball? Dude, that's
it's not a jump ball. It's a back shoulder. It's not a jump ball. There wasn't no jump. He should have fucking blasted him right here. Play it right there. Play it. He should have blasted him right there. Play it.
Ball right out of the air, and then right here, he should have put him in the fucking.
He tried.
Dirt.
He tried, and then
ain't no trying, bro. Ain't no trying, man. This is the single moment that ruined Cam Newton's career here in Carolina. I will never forgive Kelvin Benjamin for this shit. Even if Cam Newton forgives him, I don't give a damn. Not only did he not go for the ball that should have been his, that could have been his, then he let this dude just punk him and gives up on the play. Look, and then he's jogging and shit, dude.
Well, then, look, guess who jacks him out of line?
Denzel
Perryman.
And then Cam Newton trying to save the play in a lost season right there. That is the moment that ruined the hopes and dreams of Carolina Panther fans everywhere. everywhere, and it's undisputed, man. This is the moment. It wasn't because Cam Newton played too long, or he wouldn't tell Ron Rivera he was hurt, or any of this other bullshit. Cam Newton's a warrior. He wanted to play, and he wanted to go out there and compete for his football team. And this play is indicative of that, man. He ran the entire length of the football field trying to save this play, all for nothing, just to ruin the rest of his career here in Carolina, man. And then for Kelvin Benjamin to throw him under the bus after this,
it's
dude,
irritating,
it's pathetic.
bro.
Yeah,
pathetic.
I know. One thing that's interesting to me about this is that so many people like to throw out the Cam not jumping on the football meme, right, in the Super Bowl, right? Like Cam didn't do. How many quarterbacks? It was one of the problems is that Cam tried to fight this to the end. Like he should almost just let that bitch go. Aaron Rodgers, let it go. Peyton Manning, let it go. They would have just watched it. Tom Brady, they would have just said assholes, bad play, this or that. But what I'm saying is this was the year after, I believe. Right. I think this was, of the Super Bowl. Yeah. And the heat that came on Cam for his lack of, I guess, toughness, tenacity, or whatever, which we all knew was bullshit.
I mean, we saw it.
I watched that. I watched that play in 2015. And I say this is that Cam tried to make a calculated play. Like he knew he could dive for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And it was just going to end in injury.
But also,
I think, and maybe I'm wrong, but and you know what? And you guys know Cam defender to the end. Anyway, kind of a shitty moment, but Cam trying to stay relevant on YouTube.
Yeah, I
want him to do, like I said, I want that to be the truth. I want him to really be at the top of his game and be able to make a comeback. And, there's parts of me that wants him to do that. And then there's part of me that doesn't want him to do that, because if he does well anywhere else, he's never going to retire a Panther, especially after how we handled it. Like if he does, I mean, I don't know, call me crazy, but I think it's hard to he didn't have, but I don't know, 8 years as a quarterback doesn't seem like a very long time to want to come back to a location that didn't really put effort into protecting him. And also,
we don't protect any quarterback. It's not just him.
I mean, and so, but he goes up to New England, has one bad season because of, obviously COVID impacting them. And they roll out the red carpet for every possible weapon they could give him up there, assuming that they end up starting Cam over Mac Jones, which I think we all can agree that they're probably going to be doing. So, I mean, listen, he goes up there. If he does well as a Patriot, I don't know that Cam wants to call Charlotte his career location, even though he had his MVP season here.
I promise you he will call Charlotte his career location unless he has multiple years of success somewhere. And I'm wishing I want Cam to go out on a high note. That's what I just want. I just want him to go out on a high note. My man, Andy Massey says deadline 7/15. So there are 2 days left to negotiate an extension with Moton.
Right.
So I've realized this while the show is going on, and dude, I fucking blame Twitter because Twitter has gotten so bad.
You got caught by a bunch of bitches.
Bad
Thank you. That's why we bring in Andy Massey. He's our official reporter.
But I really don't feel like we. Oh, hey, listen, I don't feel like we have to change anything because let me ask you this: who thinks that we're actually going to get a deal done? No one.
How about this? Let's put it this: is whether or not we think we're going to get a deal done. If we don't get a deal done, it's a mistake.
Right.
I saw Trey Turner in the news today saying, or yesterday, I got on the Google News or whatever, saying he's feeling better after a shitty 2020. Does anybody really believe him, like being the comeback player? You know what I'm saying? Like, no. Taylor Mouton's been a rock. He's been a rock. Like at some point, you got to pay. We have had nothing on the offensive line. And I tell you this, I blame it. There's a culture in Carolina that gives no shits about the offensive line. zero shits about the Carolina Panthers offensive line. And if you look to Ron Rivera in Washington right now, and I don't know, maybe Morgan Moses is hurt. Maybe he's a bum at this point or this or that. But we saw too much of Ron Rivera sacrificing the offensive line for his defense. And I fully believe this is that Ron Rivera is cutting fat on the offense for the defense. And I understand it. That's his style, man. He wants to win 15-12 or whatever. But when will the Carolina Panthers ever fucking invest in the offensive line? I don't know. And if Taylor Mouton isn't the guy to invest in, I don't know who really is. Like, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? A guy that you got in the what? When did we get in Taylor Mouton? The second round? Third round? Second? It was a second round pick, I'm pretty sure.
No, I think Taylor Mouton was the third round pick.
No, I think it was second. I think we got, was it the Christian McCaffrey draft we got him in? Look that up. Someone look that up. If Taylor Mouton was, I believe he was a second round pick. We actually traded up for him because supposedly the Bills traded up for some guy right before us, whoever they picked. And then we were like, we got to get Taylor Mouton next. Ultimately, what I'm saying is this is the most we have invested in the offensive line has been a second round pick. That's it. The most we have invested. Look, you talked about Greg Little, second round pick. Taylor Mouton, second round pick.
He was the Coney Ely pick of the second round. We got comp pick for him. It was like the final pick of the second round. Yeah. Right. And which Coney Ely. All could have been what about you want to talk about a story of butterfly effects and divergence? Let's not talk about
man
Coney
was
Ely,
almost about that. Coney Ely was about to be the Super Bowl MVP. He
was about to get paid,
he had
bro.
The same game. He had the same game as who's the
Von Miller.
Yes, the same exact game, if not better.
I wouldn't say he had the
better.
Same.
It was better. He had
Von
an interception,
Miller.
dude.
Yeah,
he had
Von
an interception
Miller.
that game.
Von Miller wrecked
anyway.
Folks, bro.
My point being is that the Carolina Panthers have invested nada in the offensive line for the last decade, even more than that.
Right.
You know what? I challenge anybody to say the last time we invested in the damn offensive line, Ota maybe. And Ota, don't talk shit about him, chat room. He was a good player, fucked by injury. But ultimately,
you can still talk shit about him.
You talk shit about him. No, not me. I like that guy. But what have we done to fix the line? And Ron Rivera's doing the same thing in Washington. He's doing the same thing in Washington. It's like this. And I don't know. People praised Dallas. Remember when Jerry stepped aside and let his kid in and they just drafted offensive line after offensive line after offensive line in the first round? Yeah. We have not done that. So right now we are fighting the uphill. Good luck, Sam Darnold. Good luck.
Sideshow Rob made a good comment earlier. He said Federer didn't invest much in O-line in Seattle either. So
it's a scary thing, isn't it?
And
you know what? And what has Russell Wilson been talking shit about for the last 2 years?
Well, but okay,
their offensive line. He has been coming out. He said this. Yeah. I'm tired of getting hit. I'm tired. That's what he said.
That's what I talked about. You guys were asking why we hadn't paid him this offseason, and I said, when's the last time Seattle paid an offensive lineman that way? And the last time they did, they traded him. You know,
CK brought this up last right. You are right. You are right on the money on that.
I mean, it's just again, you got to think about it from I think a couple of different perspectives. Number one, I think that Matt Rule is a heavy believer in his capabilities as a coach to develop people. And so are they going to put a position in place at a high level of value that is largely known to be a lot of the people that are some of the best players are developed into that position? You know, like Moton, let's be honest, he didn't come out of the draft expecting to be the right tackle that he was, right? Same thing with Norwell, same thing with Trey Turner, same thing with a lot of these guys that we've seen The only one that I think was a clear cut, should have definitely been as good as he was Jordan Groves, because he was drafted so highly. But I think a lot of these, maybe we have a coach.
That was like 2003 too, by the way.
Yeah.
When was Jordan? All right, keep going. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to make it a point that, I think we have a coach that sees that position more as a developmental one than one that's going to have somebody come in from a draft and immediately contribute. Maybe he doesn't value it as high as a first round pick or even a second round pick that's a high second round pick. Maybe that's the issue we have right now with the coach that we have. I don't know.
Jordan Gross was drafted in 2003, and we're still looking at him as the stalwart of the 2010.
Who we're looking for.
You know what I'm saying? Like when he retired, and what it was like 14 or something like that. That's ridiculous. That's fucking ridiculous that we are still hanging on to Jordan Gross
as our best life. As our only person to compare shit to.
That is the most untenable. I don't even know what to say.
Well, I don't want to be too hyperbolic yet for the sheer fact that one, Scott Fitterer has only had 1 year here in Carolina.
Right.
So he wasn't fully pulling the strings up there in Seattle. And then number two, again, everyone is so new at their respective positions. Like, I don't want to blame Matt Rule for the sins of Ron Rivera's past.
Right.
And I don't feel like we're at that place where we can fully say that Matt Rule and Scott Fitterer just don't give a damn about the offensive line. I think one of the things that we have to keep.
What we draft in round one?
One second.
Tell me what position did we draft in round one?
Well, but this is the thing, though.
What position? Just tell me. What position?
No, we didn't draft offensive tackle, but I think the
right. What about round two? What about round two?
But here's the point, though. We're not the decision makers. I kind of think that they're looking at it from the perspective of, well, this is a multi-year rebuild, and we think that we brought in some good guys in free agency, and we drafted some guys that we like, and frankly, we just don't know what they're going to develop into being. That's why I don't want to freak out on it yet. I want to see what Brady Christensen does. I want to see who ultimately ends up playing left tackle for us. I think Deontay Brown and David Moore could come out of nowhere and be, the best offensive lineman even on the team, right up there with Taylor Mouton. I think they have that kind of potential. I don't want to freak out yet over it. I think
go ahead and freak out, bro. I'm freaking out. I'm eating the schnozberries. The schnozberries taste like schnozberries. If you've watched Super Troopers, that's what you should freak out about. Here, let me tell you a little story. I was on the radio, on Pirate Radio, and we do I told you guys this in past week, the fan Friday preview or something like this. And the Dallas Cowboys guys came on. I said this. I said, what do you guys think about Cam Irvin? And I didn't give them no context. Like, you know what I'm saying? They were talking. I was like, well, you guys tell me, what do you think about Cam Irvin? They didn't even know who I was talking about. These mugs tried to think. They thought I was talking about a defensive lineman. These are fans of the team, bro. They thought I was talking about a defensive lineman. Our starting left tackle is going to be a guy from Dallas that nobody knows who the fuck he was. That's going to be the truth, bro.
Could be our offensive. Or could be our starting.
Oh, God bless if it's not. That's why they've signed him. I'm telling you, man.
You put too much stock into this Cam Irvin guy. There's a real battle.
All right, we got to fight. We're going to fight. Brady Christensen.
Cam Irvin. Listen, I'm more confident in Brady Christensen being able to step up and play left tackle than I am Cam Irvin. Dude, Cam Irvin has always sucked. Like, that's the reason why he's never been a starter on their line. He's not.
I've been doing this for a minute, bro.
Tony.
I've been doing this for a minute. They are eyeballing him as a starter.
No,
Tony,
he won't be.
Did you just say Cody would be licking your balls when this is over?
Yes.
Didn't we just learn like a week and a half ago that Cody couldn't suck cock if he wanted to try?
Didn't you?
Yeah. Even if he wanted to lick my balls, he could not. You're right.
That's right. That's what.
My mom did not talk to me for 2 days.
Oh no!
as I read someone else's words. I was like, Mom, I was like, those weren't even my words. I was just saying someone else's words. She didn't talk to me for 2 days. She was so mad. She was
Also,
so mad.
by the way, there's always a wave of people in the chat room that don't know the context behind anything that we're saying.
I feel so bad every time we say stuff like this. I'm like sitting there thinking, like, oh gosh, Lynn's in here. Oh my god. Oops, sorry, Lynn.
Look at this.
Blame Tony. Blame Tony. I take no responsibility.
This is a good comment right here. I hate this comment. I want to fight over
Tony
this.
Loves men name Cam. Yeah, 100%. That's like a fetish.
No wonder he's gonna start. No wonder he's gonna start. All right. What's next on the docket? What's next on PFF or something?
Well, so Luke Kuechly was in the news, and not really in the news, but I felt like it'd be interesting to kind of reflect on. I don't know how many people read it. I can give people the cliff notes a little bit, but basically Luke kind of laid out the differences between what it's like entering training camp at different parts of your career. And I felt that it was really interesting because a lot of the guys on the team now are going to be going through this, these first year jitters. And one of the things that he made a point of saying is that there's always the guys that really show out in OTAs, and they're awesome. And then by the time you get to training camp and you put pads on, they completely disappear. And then he said that there are guys that are vice versa to that. They aren't very good in OTAs, but then when they do put the pads on, they come alive. And he mentioned that there's this concept of like going to a team, wondering what kind of team you're going to have, because all the veterans that might be coming back, but there's always these new guys that add a new element to the football team. And it's like a lot of these players, they're really getting a first look at what the football team is going to be when they're in camp for the first time, seeing everybody play, kind of looking at what the holes of the team are, what guys are better than expected. And I just felt like it was really interesting too. The final part of the early guys, or the earlier year guys going into training camp, is that he mentioned, and this is something that you've heard mentioned a lot, especially around draft time, that the play speed from college to NFL is just night and day difference. I mean, even from OTAs to training camp to the actual game, man, the play speed is just different. The players
isn't that wild? Isn't that wild when you hear that from somebody who played at the fastest speed? Right? Is that like Luke Kuechly was on the top end of college speed, but then when you think about what you saw on tape, or everything he did in Carolina, he mentally was ahead of it. It felt like he was fast, sideline to sideline. So if he's saying that the play speed sped up, imagine for people that didn't react like he did.
Yeah. Well, and also like knowing the playbook, he mentions that too. You try and learn the plays, you try and learn the playbook as best you can, and you might think that you have a grasp on it, but then once it comes time to get on the field and everyone's moving a lot faster and things are, actually getting into game speed, it's really easy to miss your assignment and be in the wrong position and just overall to be doing the wrong things. And I felt like that provided a good bit of context to, rookies in general. Even last season, people complained that Jeremy Chin wasn't that great in coverage. Well, again, I expect him to make a jump this season and become even better as he becomes more familiarized with the playbook and what we're trying to do scheme-wise. And I just felt like it was interesting to kind of look at that because there's so many new guys, young guys on the football team, and they're all kind of learning on the job. So I don't know.
What did he say about the middle part of his career and the later part of his career?
So in the middle part of his career, he said he had a good feel for the defense. He said, I understood how training camp worked. I was established in my role on the team, and we always had such a great group of guys that I was excited to spend the next few weeks with. I was excited to compete every day on the field, to work and grow on the team as a defensive unit. He loved the challenge of working on new areas of his game once he could spend more time working on things that he needed to improve on rather than constantly looking through the playbook. It was all football all the time. And I think, again, we have a few guys that are in that part of their career. Guys like Dante Jackson, hopefully, guys like DJ Moore, who are accustomed to what we're doing and why we're doing it. And now they just have to worry about the small details in their own training on how to get them to play their own best version of football. So it's that point where you're becoming a veteran. You're not really, a true weathered seasoned veteran yet, but you're a stalwart on the team. You're somebody that people start to depend on, and you just become better as a player and as a person. I think that's one of the things that Luke kind of mentioned. And then I thought this was actually kind of cool. The last few years of training camp, being a teacher, a lot of the guys that would come in, being able to impart knowledge onto them, but also understanding that they're the newbie and they're the ones that are going through the first time jitters and learning the playbook. And, he would go out of his way to try and ease them into those kinds of things. But also, he mentioned this part where coach would give us the night off from meetings, and it was like he gave us the week off. Guys would go grab pizza together and head back to the rooms and play video games. It was like we were kids again after a high school game. It just, I imagine that you probably don't have too many of those moments. As a weathered veteran, where you just go to your dorm room and you're playing video games with your boys. I think that's cool that at a certain point in your career, you gain the level of respect and, reverence from your teammates that, this is one of the leaders of the football team. They know what they're doing. They're imparting knowledge onto the younger players. And they get nights off when the young newbies have to put in the hard work. So it was just fun, and I thought that it was interesting for Luke to come out now and give his perspective on these kinds of things and his playing time, especially while we're all, as Panther Nation, wondering what the future holds for Luke. Is he going to join the Panthers again in some other form or fashion? Maybe as
he's a Redskin, bro.
Tony
He's
has already signed his Washington football team contract, which I don't agree with. But I feel he might also just be done with football too. Maybe he might move on to some other things. But I just felt like it was a good read. Lynn asked where I found this. This is on Sports Illustrated. If you're interested in reading the whole thing. And dude, just a reason to talk about my man Luke.
Any thoughts, EK?
Oh man, I think I think it's all kind of makes sense, but at the same time, do we really think he's? I can't help but do you really think he's about to go sign with the Redskins?
No.
Yeah, he's gonna be a coach, bro. Yes, he's gonna be a coach there, bro. He's already gave a motivational speech.
That don't matter, man. But just because Ron Rivera's there,
he didn't want to be a scout with the Panthers. How about this? I'm telling you this is look. Matt Rule comes in. He's there he's still under contract, right? He retires as soon as not after they fire Ron Rivera. He waited.
Right.
They hired Matt Rule. He met that staff, and then he retired. Then all of a sudden we go, oh, well, man, Luke Kuechly be this fucking awesome ass linebackers coach. We would love to have him. Even Matt Rule's like, oh, we like, he said all the nice things. And then he becomes a scout for the Panthers. He becomes a scout for 1 year. And then my man who watches film, who loves the grind, who does all this, he says, I'd rather fish than be a scout. That's what he said. I want to enjoy. He said this. He's like, you guys know I love the outdoors. That's what he told us. I love the outdoors. I want to fish. I want to hunt. And I want to do this. And then he retires from being a scout. And then 2 weeks later, he's doing a motivational speech for Ron Rivera's linebacker group. Come on now. You're trying to tell me that football's out of this dude's blood? No way. Something is fishy here to me.
I mean, couldn't it just be a favor to Ron Rivera, who was the only NFL head coach that he's really ever known, you know?
So then he just doesn't love football no more now? He said he was tired of football, and then the next week he gives a motivational speech to football players?
I have a theory. I think maybe he ended up waiting too long, deciding what he wanted to do after football. I think his dream job, I don't know what his dream job would have been, but I think the move would have been to make him the linebacker coach. And that way, Phil Snow, as he continued to age and get older, he's an older guy, that Luke would kind of move into the
That's the missed move. That's right.
And I kind of think that Luke wanted to do that, but maybe
but you just think that. We all just wish that. We don't have no reason to believe that.
That's why I think it went to the scouting department, because it was
he could have gone to Washington football team if he wanted to be a linebacker coach.
Still something. I mean,
I think this is all just us. That's rose-colored glasses, homie.
No, man, I really do think that he's gonna. If he does anything related to football, I think it's gonna be here. I think he was doing a favor for Ron Rivera. He's not.
Gentleman's bet. Gentleman's bet.
You're gonna be licking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're gonna be licking my balls, bro.
No, you're gonna have to lick mine. I can't. Balls. No, you're gonna lick mine, dude. You're gonna lick mine because you're
not even capable of it. That's
right. That's what Jimmy Rizzo said.
The other thing I want to talk about is
he's not going to be a Washington football player. Damn it!
Imagine if the old hat. What do you think the old hats are going to say about this? The old hats read this article about how training camp was when I was a beginner, a middle, and the end. And the old hats are going to be like, we used to run 2 a days. We break people's jaw. Mike Minter broke dude's jaws. He broke who was the racist quarterback we had that went and he was good in New York? We had him for a minute. He was very good, actually. Cook guy was early. Yeah, well, he got in a fight. He called somebody the N-word in the locker room. Yes, Kerry Collins. Mike Minter, I'm pretty sure, broke Kerry Collins' jaw in practice or something. Like one of these two. You know what I'm saying? Like these old hats are going to be like, oh, well, way to reminisce, Luke Kuechly, about how you got to eat pizza in video games and we were busting ass back in the day. It's soft these days. Training camp is soft these days, and that's fine because they're the most elite athletes in the world. But I promise you, bro, you got rose-colored glasses when it comes to Luke Kuechly.
No, man, you get these crazy. You're a conspiracy theorist. That's what you are.
I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm just watching the news, bro. I'm just watching the evidence, bro. I'm just the evidence.
You're throwing noodles at the refrigerator. That's what you're doing. You're throwing noodles at the fridge to see what sticks. That's all it is. I'm doing the same thing. And I like my theory. I like my theory. He wanted to be with us, waited too long, and said, fuck it. I'm going to go do some other shit.
What else we got to talk about tonight before the cat calls? Anything? Yes.
Yeah. So PFF, shout out PFF and their account. They've been giving us some good discussion topics, but I figured this would be something cool for us to kind of mention. And the question is ESPN versus PFF. Which cornerback ranking list do you agree with more? And PFF comes out and they have Jair Alexander as number 1. Jalen Ramsey is number 2. Marlon Humphrey is number 3. Xavier Howard, number 4. And then look who just decides to pop on
creep up in there. Yeah. A second-round pick from a school nobody knows that remembers the name. Sanford, right? Wasn't it Sanford?
Yes, Sanford College. Bulldog.
I think that's what it was.
Imagine having James Bradbury and
JC Horn.
JC Horn.
I know.
Dude, those would be
be the worst. It would not be the worst.
My gosh. Anyway.
It would not be the worst.
Then ESPN's top 5 is Jalen Ramsey, Marlon Humphrey, Xavier Howard, Stephon Gilmore, and Tre'Davious White. Number 1, I'm going to go out on the limb and say in a very short amount of time, any name that isn't J.C. Horns at number 1 will be absolutely blasphemous, dude.
Oh my God.
Will be absolutely blasphemous, dude.
Homerific. Man, you know what they had last night? They had the home run derby. That's what they had. And you a home run man. He's a homer.
Let me show you. Wait,
Show me his footwork.
Oh, bro, I'm about to show you. I want to
see. Y'all tell me. I'm interested in this. I think Xavier Howard is the underrated guy in these lists, bro. I'm telling you, man, this dude is a baller. Tre'Davious White, I'm gonna have to look for him more. I think Stephon Gilmore is living off the name now at this point.
At this point, it does kind of seem like that. But which like is there out of any of these lists, do you think one is more I don't know.
I like this list. Dude, I like PFS list.
Doesn't even have Yair Alexander. But I really like Tre'Davious White too. So yeah, I don't really know, but
all right, show me why come on. I'm waiting. We're all waiting here while JC Horn's number 1. He's about to show his foot drills again. I love the foot drills.
I'm telling you, we have never had a talent like this.
Charles Godfrey. I agree. This could be the best one. I hope he is.
And dude, but I mean that mirror skills, the press skills, he's so fast, he's so quick, he's so
big as fuck. Look at those thighs.
And by the way,
he's long.
And it's the off season, man.
I agree.
This dude's out there balling, preparing himself to be a shutdown corner. Look, there's no separation right
if
there.
He becomes the number 1 corner, how about this?
To get an interception.
If he becomes the number 1 corner in the league, and the guy after him becomes the number 1 tackle in the league, what's more valuable? Who was the guy that went after him? Rashawn Slater?
Yeah, Rashawn Slater.
So my question to you is that I agree. Like, man, this guy is, and I love Joe Horn. And I know that as a Panther fan, you're not supposed to say that, but fantasy, the phone call out of the shit. Remember we pulled the cell phone out?
I do.
I like that. Like, I never have no fault with Joe Horn. But if he becomes the number 1 corner and Rashawn Slater becomes the number 1 tackle, are you just saying that's a wash?
I mean, I don't know. It depends.
It's close, isn't it? That's kind of close. I mean, if you're talking number 1 and number 1, that's pretty close. That's a wash.
Think of it this way. All of the real elite teams that have won Super Bowls recently, the real elite defenses had that corner presence. They had, whether it was the Legion of Boom or the no-fly zone with Denver, or a lot of the teams that win
the Bucs
defensive
didn't have
championships.
Lockdown guy last year.
They didn't have lockdown guys, but they weren't slacking either.
The name of who won it before the Bucs?
But they have
I'm challenging this idea.
You're challenging what idea? I mean, how many top tier? Every Super Bowl. It might be an interesting discussion in and of itself, like going through or going through Super Bowl winners. Like, how many of them have a dominant franchise left tackle? But yeah,
versus a dominant second.
Yeah,
that's next week's show. That's next week's show, bro. That's next week's show. We're gonna research that.
Shout out to Swish 94 and Carlton Davis for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's really, really good. I mean, again, so my point is this: like, J.C. Horn, we have never had this kind of talent at the cornerback position. We're going to be
Charles Godfrey was close, bro. I know it was a little bit before your time. He was our best corner. Charles Charles Godfrey is our best. Not Charles Godfrey. Help me out. It's not Charles Godfrey.
I don't even
Help
know who
me
you're
out.
talking
Who
about.
is
I don't
it?
even care.
Nah,
They don't
I
come
already
close
said the
to
wrong
Jason.
name. And no, that's
They don't come
bullshit. You
close to
can't say
Jason.
our best score. Chat room, help me out. It's not Charles Godfrey.
It don't matter.
Who is it?
Whoever it is, they don't come close to the kind of physical talent that JC Horn represents. So, like, I'm just thrilled for what he could do for our defense, man. We're going to be able to build around him on our defensive backfield for a long time to come, man. I mean, this is the type of guy you put on a team's number one wide receiver and shut shit down, dude. And I'm pumped about that. And it's like, listen, of course I want to have
Chris Gamble.
a franchise
Thank you,
left
John
tackle.
Jenkins. Thank you, John Jenkins. You cannot say he's better than Chris Gamble when he ain't never played before. Chris Gamble is our best corner in the history.
He represents a better physical talent coming out of college than has ever been on the Carolina Panthers.
I said Charles Godfrey. Y'all should all shame me for saying that name. Shame me.
It didn't matter what name you were saying. They weren't JC Horn.
I'm bad with names.
It don't matter what name.
Dude, he ain't even played yet. He ain't even played yet. Look, I hope he's the best, but he's got to beat Chris.
And I'm already riding his nuts. That's right. JC Horn is shutting.
You're not even good at that
down this year. I'll get good at it.
Not even good at that.
I'll get good at it. I'll fucking get good at it. And
just
I'll be
to
right
mess with Joe Rizzo. All right. Is that it? Is there anything else to talk about tonight before we get to catcalls?
That's it, Tony.
No, there is one more thing, and that is, did you hear that Russell Okung is waiting for a reasonable offer? He's waiting patiently.
I don't know if he's gonna get it.
Adequate offer.
Is he gonna get? What is an adequate? I mean, like,
I'm gonna pay him in Litecoin, bro. I bought Litecoin, so I buy the crypto now, just in little bits.
Yeah.
Just so I can play on this poker site I play with. I play on this online poker site, and they take crypto. So I try to buy a little crypto, and then I wait for it to go up $4, and then I put $50 on the website. So I'm like, oh, if I lose $4 on the blackjack, who gives a fuck?
Right.
Nah, man. Like, why wouldn't he? I mean, what's the adequate offer? What's he gonna? He would take $10 million. Well, imagine if somebody said, "I'll give you $7 million." He's like, "Nah, I'm good.
I'm cool, dude. That'd be."
Yeah, my crypto's down this week. And how about this? Any mofos that talk junk about Russell Okung, every now and then, I'm gonna call out Kuntz, and he's a great follow on Twitter at Kuntz or whatever. I can't remember it, but he's funny as fuck on Twitter. I've shouted him out a lot. But you remember when Bitcoin and all, like the crypto had the drop like about 3 weeks ago, like a super drop. He's like, oh, I wonder what Russell Okung's thinking now. And I said to him, I tweeted him back. I said, bro, he's still up 35%. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell? All right. So Russell Okung, should he be an option for the Carolina Panthers? You tell me, Cody. You're on mute. You muted yourself, and that's right.
It's another warm body, bro. I don't give a damn. Like, we already have so many guys that are in contention. If you would add Russell Okung to that lineup, that doesn't give me any more, better feelings about the left tackle position with him being here. Like, I see a bunch of warm bodies, or I see a starter. And he didn't do anything to prove that he was a starter last year. And he was always injured too, man. So it's
that's it, man. It's better. Yeah.
If you're not,
I'm trying to bring you on a $4 million deal. Sorry, I give you $4 million on Doge right now, and that's about it. Slam us up with the banner, the Avolta banner, real quick. We're about to jump into cat calls, please. It's the longest running Panthers podcast. It's the C3 Panthers podcast. The number is 252-228-5098. That's 252-228-5098. You can be a part of the show. We would really appreciate it if you jump in the chat room, share the show, smash the thumbs up button wherever you're watching, retweet, like, all that. We're on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, all of that. Tonight's cat call is brought to you by Avolta. No money down. You can, if you live in North and South Carolina, you're a homeowner, you can cut the cord and you can get a fixed rate on your energy. You can put some solar panels in your house, and you don't have to deal with the energy company anymore. And that's it. And you get these tax breaks and all of that. Call Kevin Brown, Solar Consultant, 704-215-3373. If you're watching on the stream, kbrown@avolta.us. Let's jump into these cat calls and see where it goes. And hopefully.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in his nose? Who's that kid that can use one?
What's up, C3? It's a first-time caller. Go by the name of Big Slim out of Charlotte, North Carolina. I was watching your show, man, and y'all
Big
probably
Slim.
address this next week because your show about over with. But I was calling in regards to the retiring numbers. I was thinking maybe we can put some stipulations on some numbers, like well, I think we should retire number 1. But numbers like 88, 58, I think we should retire 90.
Agreed.
I think we should retire 89. But some of those numbers that's in question, maybe we could put some stipulations on them, like maybe lock the numbers for 3 years, so nobody can wear those numbers for 3 years. No rookie can wear them. No software can wear those numbers. And after a player's eligible, meaning after 2 years, if they want to wear a certain number like 88 or 90 or whatever, they have to get approval from the player themselves. So let me know what y'all think about that. So put stipulations on the number for 3 years. Lock it out for 3 years. No sophomore, no rookie, and after sophomore season, they can ask the player to wear the number. So yeah, let me know what y'all think about that. Keep pounding.
I think the only number to retire is 89. I mean, I and look, as the biggest Julius Peppers fan there is, and the second biggest Cam Newton fan there is to everybody, I'm telling y'all, like y'all see what these people say. I say about people named Cam. Like you can't say I don't love Cam. I think 89 is the only number to retire. I do. Like I'm ready to kind of like look, if I consent or if I'm okay with giving up the 90, you got to be okay with giving up the 59.
Fair enough.
50. I don't know, man. No, I mean, hey, maybe we'll just have to disagree on this. I don't want to see no other motherfucker wearing number 1 and number 59. Sorry, don't want to see it. Maybe I'm a
which one? Which one would you prefer? Which one would make you more upset?
I don't want to see nobody wearing number 1. I don't want to see no one wearing number 1 who isn't named Cameron Jarrell Newton. That's really how I feel.
CK, am I wrong? What do you think? CK,
I mean,
what do you think?
I'm in the same boat. I mean, like, I agree. Like, obviously, I don't want to see another person wearing number 1, but do I see
retirement on
anytime soon? I don't. Like, I'd love.
What
to
about
say
59?
So,
what about 59? Am I right? Is it 89 the only number?
Nope.
89 is the only surefire Hall of Famer that we have that was pretty much that wanted to be a Carolina Panthers entire life. Whereas, you know, even if you wanted to take Julius Pepper into the equation,
might not even be a surefire. To be honest, Steve Smith might not be a surefire.
I mean, he's not going to be a first ballot. But
Right.
But
I
again,
think-
are we just basing this on whether or not they get into the Hall of Fame or not? I don't think that's the final credential that determines whether.
No,
you get the
it just
number
can't be
retired.
because we loved you and we want to suck you off.
Exactly. I mean, the thing is like, if
It's
that's
not
the case,
that, though.
here's
Yes,
the problem.
it is. That's
No, it's
exactly
not.
what it
Cam
is.
Newton won an MVP wearing number 1 as the best quarterback that we've ever had. Especially if no one like.
So you
gets
retire
close to
the
those
number?
numbers.
You retire the number from one season?
That's the
It's
that's
not.
the part
It's not
that
just one season, man.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
like,
not
sorta
just
it
one
was.
season.
You just said MVP. You started with MVP, first of all. That's what you started with. You didn't start with career this, career that. And look, yes, I think
everything
Cam
that Cam
Newton is
Newton's
I
ever
think he's
done for us the
awesome. I
entire
think he's
time he's
awesome.
been here.
But like my man didn't. I just think that's a little rich.
My man didn't what? My man carried this entire fucking offense for a decade. How is that not enough?
Less than
man?
a decade.
But
Hey, it
here's
was less
the other
than a
part to
decade.
that, right? Jake Delhomme was our best quarterback up until Cam Newton. We didn't retire him.
Yeah,
right?
but he
And
also doesn't deserve
went
to be retired.
We
though.
went to a Super Bowl. He had some phenomenal years with Steve Smith. Like he had some phenomenal years. Like he was up there with like he got a big ass contract because he was worthy of it because he played so well. Like same concept. Like if we didn't retire it after that, and that was like, listen, the bar has been raised with Cam Newton. Don't get me wrong, but the same thing. Like if let's say that we haven't retired Jordan Gross, he's been our best left tackle ever to play as a Carolina Panther.
Great point.
We
Great
didn't
point.
we didn't retire Dan Morgan's number because he was the greatest linebacker for decades, and I mean for a decade until Luke Kuechly was there.
Imagine if Luke Kuechly couldn't wear his number.
But yeah, but what?
I mean,
Okay,
I just
all of a
don't
sudden
know
pretend-
why we should retire
No,
someone's
but do we
number
just all of a
that
sudden
quickly.
pretend like number 1? Like, oh yeah, it's just any old number and anyone can have it. and
Do you
they
know
don't
that Dallas
care,
Cowboys have
whatever.
not retired like Michael Irvin's number?
Yeah, we ain't the
They haven't
Cowboys.
retired. They
man.
didn't. They're American. Well, they
Yeah,
also
I
do
don't
multiple
give
But my
a shit
Super
point
about
Bowls.
being is at
Cowboys,
some
man.
point you can't retire any more numbers. And right now, like I think a Hall of Honor is way more respectful than the retiring numbers. Retiring numbers is like it's like empty calories to me. You know what I mean? It's just like it's I agree. Nobody should wear one for like the caller said, like 3 to
That's
5 years.
Yeah, the caller's
Like,
right.
that
Yes,
makes sense
like
to me.
maybe even
Yeah.
8.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, I think that's a good middle ground. Like, that's why it's a good call. I mean, it is a middle ground. It's not like one way or the other. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like there's a grace period, and then you have to ask for that person's permission. I think that's cool. You know, asking, you know, if somebody can.
And you can't retire, man. Like it's like me trying to say, I think we should retire Pepper's number, and I don't really think that, but like Pep is the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? Like you say MVP, this motherfucker's defensive player, this and that. You know, he did all that shit, but I don't think we should really retire number 90. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a fucking defensive end, you better wear number 90. Like that's a good number for a defensive end. I think I agree with CK saying is put these mugs in the Hall of Honor before we start talking about retiring their numbers.
I agree with Lynn. To me, these numbers are the ones that are the most sacred to me. The ones that
88 is rich.
that I love
88 is so rich. Greg Olson is the richest one. Man, I'm sorry. That's just a heart.
I don't think anyone's saying retire because again, that's obviously not happening. But again, it's just like those are the numbers that to me, it's it's hard to see and envision other people wearing those numbers. Although we're gonna have to get over it with Terrace Marshall this year, but
right,
duh, and duh.
I stand for Cam. This cripple stands for Cam all the time.
I made that fucking shirt,
all the
bro.
time.
I made that shirt. I made that song.
I live the life. Okay, I'll defend Cam till death, bro. I don't fuck
me
logic,
too, bro.
reason, any of that other shit. I'm 100% riding on that Cameron Jarrell Newton name, bro. That's a sacred name,
Listen,
sacred number.
We all love Cam.
If
Like I
you were
said, we
straight,
all
you
love
would ride
Cam.
on the Cam dick.
But I can't see a logical scenario where, I mean, it's like, even with 89, like, I mean, 89 is probably the closest to untouchable of any number out there.
He
but
is the untouchable.
I still don't know
not
that.
only the right.
I don't know that you retire.
Actually retirable.
Yeah, well, I
agree.
I mean, I just don't know.
I agree.
Like, we haven't had a single a single player that for more than 1 year was considered the best at their position as a Panther, like, except for maybe Luke. And maybe I wouldn't even know if you would put him. He was always debated.
Nah, because they were always like Wagner and this and that.
Exactly.
Like, they put all those dudes up there, and I know we were all over. He was dope, man. He was very, very good. He's like the greatest of the great for that time period. But I don't know. I feel like when you retire the number, it's got to be like this crazy extended legacy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry. And I think the closest person to that is Steve Smith. And for someone who wants it to be number 90, I want it to be number 90. Julius Peppers is the greatest player that ever played for the Carolina Panthers. It's true.
It's your opinion. And I love Pep.
No, it's straight true, bro. I mean, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Nobody else is. Tell me who ever played for the Carolina Panthers.
Some people say Steve Smith.
He's not first ballot, bro. He's not first ballot. And look, I do think he's arguably the greatest player that ever played for the Panthers because he played his whole legacy there. But he's not first ballot. Julius Peppers is, man. He's like fourth all time. Man, he's just the dope. He's a goat.
You know,
so you can't retire people's numbers, bro.
You know who I think the best Panther player of all time is?
Cameron Artis Payne is my favorite. How about yours?
Hey, you do love all players named Cam, so at least you're consistent. At least you're consistent.
Woo. Who's your favorite then?
Cameron Jarrell Newton.
I stand with Cam, he said.
Did you not hear?
I made that shirt. I made that shirt, bro. I made that shirt.
Stands with Cam is the best Panther player ever.
Yeah, that does take it to a new level.
Yeah, of course.
That takes it to a new level when this cripple says, "I stand with Cam."
I stand with Cam until the end of time, until I draw my last breath. Cam Newton, best quarterback to ever play for the Panthers.
There was the caveat at the end. 252-228-5098.
Hi, Anthony. I'm ready to share my thoughts.
Oh, my God. It's my mom.
I've done everything I can to contact you, so now I'm trying this.
Oh, no.
Remember,
she said, damn, I've been trying to call you. And I can't get in touch with you. Next call, Mom. I'll call you all the time. You don't answer your phone. Next call.
Panthers podcast. How y'all doing? G Cavassier.
What's up, bro?
Hey, Cody. I tried to get on the Friday show, man, but something was going up. Something's going wrong with my phone. Love the show. Love the show.
We'll do it again.
Hey, man. Let me ask y'all something. I don't know if y'all saw it. I looked on Google and they said that it's a possibility KJ Wright can come to Carolina. And before people start going crazy and everything, I remember in May they were saying that the Rams are going to pick him up. My opinion, if KJ Wright comes to the Panthers, our linebacker core is going to be vicious. But the thing is, somebody's going to get left out. You know, it's not going to be Hassan Riddick. You know, it's not going to be Perriman from L.A. Thinking Shaq Thompson's on the outside looking in a little bit, man. I really do. Because Shaq Thompson is an all right linebacker, but he is not all that what he used to be. And the reason why I say that, I truly believe Luke Kuechly and Thomas Davis showed him, but he was in their daggone shadow. Let's be honest, gentlemen. He is in their daggone shadow, man. So if KJ Wright comes to the Panthers, I seriously doubt that Phil Snow would bench this damn dude. And plus, look at our GM, where he come from, Seattle. Hey, man, that would be a good fit to me, man. Give me your takes on that, because that's really been messing with my mind. And always remember, y'all. Always remember, keep pounding.
Christian Miller will never see the day of light on the Carolina Panthers field. Sorry. And mad shout out to Lynn, who was the one who made that I Stand with Cam. The feather in the cap, it was so fantastic. And Lynn, she's the actual designer of the shirt. She is the designer straight up. She has
so she had to
a lot of shirts for me.
So Lynn threw the flag on you, is what you're saying.
No, it was like, hey, well, you're right, probably.
Yeah.
And Lynn, I will put this out. Lynn, this is what so we took a year off from shirts, and I do put up the I like when I buy the shirts, I don't do it through the Teespring or whatever. I just end up buying the shirts, and I just spend like $600 or whatever it is. It's a lot, but it's not a lot. Lynn, this is what I want, or what I think would be a great, and not what I want. It's not like an instruction. But I think we got to do a 22 Jeremy chin check. Chin check. I've been saying this. Chin check is like the dope joint. Jeremy chin check. That's what I need. Like there's some sort of vision there with that. My mom called in and she said, I ain't talked to you. And you know what, Mom? I have talked to you. Next call.
Wait, did we talk about KJ Wright?
Joey, I haven't called in a while.
KJ Wright. Tell me about KJ Wright.
Well, no, G was 100% correct that he's always been in the shadows of Luke Kuechly and Thomas Davis.
KJ Wright? Who? That's not even his name.
He's an outside linebacker.
I thought it was Jeremy. I thought it was Jeremy. No, not Jeremy Chin, but the guy from NC State or something. Is it KJ Wright? Is that the guy's name? I don't think that's the right name.
Yeah, KJ Wright's the linebacker.
I ain't ever heard of him.
Yeah, he was on Seattle, dude. He was like freaking.
Oh, okay. So then hold on. No, I got a bone to pick. And someone tell me if I'm stupid or not. So this is the tweet that I saw earlier from Jeremy Fowler. It was 4 hours.
I thought it was Jermaine something. Jermaine.
No. This is to the Taylor Mouton thing. Okay, tell me who's wrong here. Jeremy Fowler comes out and says that on extending, this is 4 hours ago, teams have 2 hours before deadline. Many tagged players trending toward no deal barring change. So if the deadline was 2 hours ago, and 2 hours after this tweet was made 4 hours ago, then isn't the deadline today? Is it today or is it Thursday? Because Jeremy Fowler is making it sound like it's today that's the deadline that they had to have new contracts. So whatever, dude, I'm not wrong. I did my job. I read
Jermaine Carter is the name I was thinking about.
Jermaine Carter.
By the way, all of us are trying to figure out where we were right or wrong. Cody is figuring out the date. I'm trying to figure out whoever.
People are telling me I'm wrong. Like
Jermaine Carter,
crazy, man. Dude, I am not crazy. I know what I read, and that's the shit that I read, dude.
Say it one more time.
It said the Panthers have interest in. Okay, Jeremy Fowler wrote this 4 hours ago. He said,
he's a big douche canoe, by the way.
Yeah, sure. They have interest in extending Taylor Mouton, but Moton has been prepared to play on the franchise tag for quite some time, so there'd be a gap to bridge, per sources. Teams have 2 hours before deadline. Many tagged players trending toward no deal barring change. So,
2 hours before deadline, you didn't say when the deadline was. It could be October for all we know.
But it's
Thursday, bro. You're wrong. It's Thursday.
The way that tweet makes it sound is like the deadline is 2 hours from when he made the tweet. Right. So I blame Jeremy Fowler, bro. I don't take any credit for being wrong, but whatever. I never do.
Blame.
Right?
You don't take the blame.
Yeah, same on me, right?
I feel like we should just worship Cephas in the chat room.
We should worship.
I just feel like we should pray to Cephas. He said nobody knows anything about anything.
All Cephas knows how to do is talk shit about every single Panther player, man. He don't like J.C. Horn. He don't like none of our coaches. He already knows that Sam Donald's.
I feel like we should worship him like an idol somewhere. Like we should light some sage for him or something.
I like Cephas. I like people that are like.
Nah, like man, I don't want to go nowhere. But damn, man, like man, good God. Next call.
Cephas is 150 IQ.
Hey, guys, Joey, I haven't called in a while, have I? I guess not. But I was at work today, and I was thinking about I heard talk on here about. It was here, and I think it was the Around the NFL podcast. But we talked about it here, son, about an NFL draft lottery. And I don't like that because, like, if the first 5 picks are in the lottery format, doesn't that mean the damn Patriots could cheat their way into the first round pick all the time? You know they could. You know they, because you know how they are. Or, but I was thinking, no, seriously, at work, I was thinking that our current system allows a GM who knows what the hell he's doing to move up into theoretically even the first pick. I mean, no team is going to give away that, especially if they suck. But like the Niners did, I don't even know what pick they had. It was a fairly crappy pick. But
thank you, Lynn.
And who they traded their pick? It was some weird trade. They basically ended up wound their way up to number 3 overall and ended up taking arguably their quarterback for the future because Jimmy G ain't the future over there. Sorry, but he's not. But yeah. What do you guys think about that? I mean, could that be done with a lottery or not? Anyway, guys. Wow.
I'm 100% opposed to the lottery.
Yeah.
100% opposed to it because I don't even like the NBA. I think their NBA, the draft that they have is the worst draft in the history of the world. It's like almost worse than baseball, which baseball's is like 78 rounds. So who even gives a fuck about baseball? My point being is this, is that every year that they have the lottery, what do motherfuckers say? Rigged.
Right.
Yeah,
rigged. Then, it's just rigged. Like, come on. Like, if
we want to just
lottery,
constantly be dealing with that.
Like, nobody's even. It's almost like the college football joint where they're trying to like we almost want to go back to the BCS rankings. You know, I mean, like, come on. No, is that I like the worst team gets the best pick. I like that.
I like that too.
I think it's right.
Plus, like, if you look at the Hornets, I feel like we're perpetually, no matter what our record is, we're always picking 13 or 14. Like,
it doesn't matter. They could be the worst team in the league, and they have the most lottery balls, and it goes to New York.
Yeah, and like
every time it's rigged. It's rigged.
Is tanking such a problem in the NFL that we have to do this lottery thing? Like, no, I think it works out.
Not at all.
But it works out well, though. That it's like if you're one of the best teams in football, you get a chance to rebuild your roster with the most premium draft picks in the draft. And that's how it happens. And that's how all these
the worst team, but yeah.
That's how all these worst team. That's how all these dumpster fire football teams get to, update their talent, a franchise quarterback or whatever it is, I like.
Why would you want to model yourself out of any other league that isn't the best league in the world? Right, the NFL, in fact, we talked about this with the jersey. Remember when they were talking about the alternate helmets and the alternate jerseys, and we said this? is that the NFL is such a it's such a behemoth. Like they are the biggest. They're the biggest company in the world ultimately when it comes to sports. They don't have to innovate. Why would you try? You know what? That's what the AFL does a lottery, and they don't exist. But what I'm saying is that the NBA needs more people watching them. MLB needs more people watching them. The NFL needs to make minor changes to make the shit more conducive. That's it. They need to make the game a little bit faster. They need to change the colors on the helmets. But they don't have to worry. But they could take a nap and still make $1 billion.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think the lottery, man. Who likes the lottery? Who likes being the worst team in the league and then picking 7th?
This is my thing. Find me any league or organization that has a better draft than the NFL.
Oh shit! By the way, I was watching and I wrote it. God, I'm gonna have to ask my wife. I was watching a TV show, and it's like a series. Like I mean, I don't think I'm watching Succession right now.
Love it. The new season is coming soon.
It's all right. All right, is it coming? It's pretty good.
The third
pretty
season.
Good. It's not great. It's not awful. It's good. It's not fantastic though.
Where are you at in the show? What
I'm in season 2, episode 5 or something. It's okay. It's pretty good.
I like it.
But I was watching some joint and what am I? God, hold on. What were we talking about? We were talking about. Oh, and this guy said they were making. God, what show was it? Oh no, I was watching. It was a Bill Burr. That's what it was. I was watching a Bill Burr stand-up comedy special, and he made so much fun of Muggs watching the NFL draft. He was like, "These nerds, who's up next?" And I was like, "We gotta play that on the podcast next year." Anyway, it was a Bill Burr shit. Anyway, all right. Next call. You got anything else to say about that? You want a lottery, Cody?
No,
fuck the NBA, man. I don't even like it. I have so my friend is a super soccer fan. And he's so mad at me because I don't like soccer. Like I don't like soccer. I'm like just not into it.
My sports.
And he was like, "Why do you like this sport? Why do you like this sport? Do you like the NBA? Why do you like this?" And I said, man, I don't like sports with too many games. Like the reason I like the NFL is it's digestible. It happens once a week for each team. There's a limited amount of the players, and it only happens over 4 months.
Right.
But like, I just can't watch. I mean, I'm a Cubs fan. I grew up on that shit. I'm like this and that, but I can't watch 160 games. And it's just too much of my life. Look, I did a podcast for the last 9 years for a team that plays 16 weeks a year. How am I going to do that for a team that plays 160 games? Sorry. All right, next call. 252-228-5098.
What's up? C3, Diesel Drew.
What up, my
Love
man?
your content. Look forward to every Tuesday night with you boys, and especially during COVID and in the off season, I'm looking for anything Panthers related. You guys are my number one. I want to say I'm a big conspiracy theorist. Here's my number one conspiracy from last season. Christian McCaffrey and Dante Jackson were the easiest way for a owner, aka through Hurney, to bench players via injury, via the doctor's orders, to sit guys and have a soft tank without actually wrecking the season. I think their injuries were not as merited as they seem. I think they're going to be good players this coming season. I think they're both going to be healthy and ball out. What do you guys think about that? Number two, I've seen a lot of Panthers.
Hold on. Can I pause it there? Can we just pause it there and then we'll go to number two so we don't have to go back? We'll listen to number two. Soft tank. I gotta say one racist word. Washington.
Wait.
We won. If it was a soft tank, it won't soft. It was too soft.
What do you mean by what?
Washington, the Washington football team. We lose to that team. We're a top. We're picking Zach Wilson, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like, is a soft tank the right way? And I think he's right. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody understood. We shut down Christian McCaffrey. We did. You know what I'm saying? We protected himself from himself. We did all of that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, did we really tank when we had the opportunity? We're one loss away from being in the top 3. And then we find ourselves at what, 8? Fuck that, man. How do we beat the Falcons and these motherfuckers are picking ahead of us?
If you're somebody like Dante Jackson and your contract is coming up in a year or two at that time,
he can't fuck around.
He can't just be like, all right, well, I'll just, take time off. There's less time that people are going to be seeing me on the field because there's no guarantee what can happen to him this year. I mean, he could end up getting hurt or whatever. So it's like, I don't know. I don't necessarily think that. I mean, again, maybe that's the way you do it by just pulling them off the field and just not letting them even have the say. So, just be like,
I think Christian, yes, Christian, yes, Christian, yes, but who really gives a fuck about Dante Jackson? Honestly,
yeah, I mean, it's definitely more true for Christian than it is for.
We hope Dante Jackson's gonna be cool, but come on, like, what's the best he's gonna be?
Right.
But again, you would have said the same thing about Josh Norman before his final year.
No, but he's not 6'1", man. Dante Jackson's 5'8", bro. Like, I mean, what's the best he could be?
Yeah,
arguably, it don't matter if he plays his best ass.
Good players that are,
he's gonna be a nickel
5'10",
corner.
5'11".
He's gonna be a nickel corner. That's the best he can be.
On that, no. On that, the height is so. Again, he might end up being a nickel. But the height.
So you think he's gonna be the best shutdown corner in the league or something? I
didn't say that shit. I said I believe that he can step up and be more than.
Then why are we protecting him?
No, I don't think that we were protecting him, but I think that if you look at Xavier Howard, Jair Alexander, those guys are like 5'10", 5'11", and he's probably faster than all of those guys. So again, it's a big time prove it year for Dante Jackson.
Without question. But again, we're going to be in another situation if he balls out that we were with Josh Norman. And then we're going to be in the same spot we were with James Bradbury. We're going to be in this perpetual cycle of like a cornerback coming in, being okay for a little bit, then being really good, and then leaving and going and taking that somewhere else.
I'm not worried about Dante Jackson just like outproving us. Like we set the expectation too high for him from the beginning.
Right.
I'm saying he's a ball hawk, he's this and that. But what I do like about him is that the new coaching staff hasn't given up on him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it felt like the old coaching staff said, "Fuck you, we ain't trying to deal with it."
Yeah.
And it's not even that he's even that big of a problem. Like you said, and this is the comparison to Josh Norman. You remember, like Ron Rivera wasn't fucking with Josh Norman's kind of off-kilter style or whatever you want to call it. But Dante hasn't shown enough for long enough. But I am encouraged by the fact that this new that the coaching staff likes him. They like him, dude. They've kept him around. And you know what I'm saying? They ain't fucking around with it. Like they think he could be something. Yeah. And that is cool to me.
You know what a lot of this says to me is that we haven't done a good job developing a lot of our players. I mean, why is it also that we're talking about players that leave the Panthers, go on, and they're balling out for other football teams? James Bradbury, Darrell Williams, You know, I mean, there are guys.
Man, don't
that,
say
that
Daryl
leave
Williams.
us.
Shut up with Daryl Williams,
Hey,
man. James
talk to Bills
Bradbury's the
fans.
only one.
Talk to Bills
James Bradbury,
fans.
tell me one
Talk
other
to
player
Bills
that's
fans. They
balled
said
out.
that he was good
Daryl
last
Williams
year
ain't
for
done
them,
shit, man.
and
Fuck
he helped
that.
them tremendously last year. How about this? He was a
Shut
better
up.
Bill than he was a Panther. Tony,
sound like Stephen A.
you're not admitting that the Panthers aren't good at developing their talent, and they're not. Traditionally, they have not been. And
Well,
that's why we
I'm
see a
not.
bunch of
I'm
guys
admitting that,
leaving
but
the
James
football
Bradbury
team
is the
and
only
thrive.
loss, bro. James Brad, tell me one other player that's gone on and been great or good. James Bradbury is the only one, bro. He's the
James
only
Bradbury
one.
has been good up there,
Name me one.
regardless of what
Let me
you
hear
say.
it.
Daryl
Let me
Williams
hear
has
one.
been
No.
good for the Buffalo
Daryl
Bills.
Williams, shut up.
Then how about AJ Klein is still I think better than he ever was. How about Mario Addison?
Oh my God, now you just saying shit.
Mario
All right,
Addison.
let me bail you out.
There's more, man. There's even
Let me
more.
bail you out. Let
There's
me
even
bail
more.
you out with
The
this.
point being, the guys that the Panthers draft, a lot of times they'll leave. And
None of these guys are good, bro. They've all been terrible.
Mario
James
Addison,
Bradbury is the best. He's the cream of the crop. And he opted out in COVID. So yeah. So did we miss Ron? But no, nobody has been fantastic. I'll give you star then. I'll give you star.
We don't.
Right.
We have not developed our.
Don't
talent
say
to be
Mario
the best
Addison,
possible-
Charlotte.
The
Come on.
best possible talent that on the team that
This is
we could have had. We didn't develop.
What's the
it yet.
opposite of incredible?
Inedible. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. I mean, this is the opposite of incredible. I'm sorry. I can't believe it. Next call.
Content
Or
recently
actually,
'cause,
continue
like,
call.
well, we're in a drought. It's in that drought part of the season. We're ready for the football to kick off, but I've been watching a lot of hot takes on
You just heard him.
best
From Tony.
and worst case scenarios, overall record predictions. What are your guys' overall record predictions? Best case scenario, Panthers win-loss, looking at the schedule. And I'm going to leave it at that. Love you
My
guys.
man John Kid Pereira said Taylor
What's
Heineke. I
up?
agree. He's better
P3.
than all of them. All right. So record predictions for the Carolina Panthers, right?
So I
Going
want us
forward.
to do before the season, like an official predictor, and then that way we can see after the season who was right on their official predictions. But if we're just ballparking,
How about this? Over 500 or under 5? Let's do this. Over 500 or under 500.
well, no, I mean I think we're gonna like. I like the high and low side. Like, so for example, I think at our worst, I would say we're a 4-12. 4-12 at our
damn.
worst, something 5. I mean,
4
bad.
and we have there's an extra game now. You got to get to 17, I think. So it would be 4-13, right?
Yeah. 4-13. Okay,
That's
so
a
then,
fucking ridiculously awful year.
I could also see
That's worse than last year.
best case scenario, maybe like a 14-3, 13-4.
God damn, man, that's a big ass window.
But
I mean,
I remain consistent that this is a boomer bust football team. Did I not say that?
I don't know,
This is
dude.
a boomer bust football team. It's either going to be
I feel like this is
Like-
that we were 5-11. What were we? 5-11 last year. I put ourselves at a 500 team. I'm thinking 9 and what would that be? 9-8. That's what I'm putting my. It's a wussy ass, prediction. And we'll do our official predictions as we get closer. But I'm telling you, like, if we don't go 5-0 to start the season, that back end of the season is a murderer's gauntlet, bro. After we play Cam, maybe Cam's hurt and he don't play us. But after the New England game, that shit is just a beat. It's like it's a brawl after a brawl after a brawl. So I hope the Panthers are fantastic. But I think they're going to be better than last year, but cusp of the playoffs is what I would put.
All right. I mean, so did you have a high end
Next
of that? Like, Do you think what's like a more optimistic version of that, or is that the best?
All
that
right,
you
so
think
11. 11 is my optimistic.
11 and 6.
11 is the most optimistic I got.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If we win 11, I'm gonna be like really like sexually excited on this podcast. Next call.
Hey guys, it's Chuck from Elizabeth City. Have you guys ever had a blemish on your body and you didn't know it was there, and then when you find it, it's worse than you thought, and it's lumpy, and you get in bed at night and feel it?
This sounds like.
Well, I kind of feel that's what we have with the Panthers. Our franchise has a bump, a blemish, and it's Ron Rivera. And I'm so sick of that piece of shit. Ever since he stepped out the door, he ruined Cam Newton's career. Wouldn't give him a chance in Washington. Goes and takes Hurney, thank God, with him. They're trying to take players we had, taking TD in. Now he's trying to get Luke to give motivational speakers. He's trying to weasel his way. He's trying to use every bit of ounce of Panther goodness to sit on his little podium and cross his arms with his freaking eyes, looking all cross-eyed. Just to try to squeeze any bit of last-second glory he had with the Panthers for his Washington freaking football team. And I'm so over that guy. I'm so glad he's gone. And I don't know what else to say, guy. I can't wait for football to start because I'm getting sick and tired of staring at walls and thinking about how Rivera crossed his arms in the Super Bowl. Anyway, that's all I got for tonight, guys.
Chuck coming out throwing fucking bullets, bro. He's throwing darts. No one's come out and challenged Ron Rivera on this podcast ever like that. Ever.
Oh, whatever. Don't take that away from me.
Well, you're right. You did say fire him. You did say fire him, but he said, I'm tired of this, man. You're right. All right.
Yeah, all of the things that he just said. I was on this podcast for a year saying before we got rid of Ron Rivera that he had continued to play Cam Newton when he knew that Cam Newton was hurt, that he continues to play older players in favor of the young, more talented, more potential guys. And on top of that, like I was saying earlier, there was a lack of talent development on this football team. And that was all Ron Rivera's fault. And David Tepper should have fired Ron Rivera the minute that he got the chance and start the whole ball rolling on a brand new everything. But David Tepper kicked that can down the road, and he did everything a little bit too late. He fired Ron Rivera a little bit too late, and he fired Marty Herney's old bitch ass a little too late too, man. So it's like, yeah, 100%. But yeah, don't take that away from me. I was on the fire run. Remember, that was the hill I was going to die on. I said I would die on this hill, and I was 100% right, man. Ron Rivera, I like him as a person, as a man, all that stuff. But a lot of the stuff that he did in the final years of his tenure was just unacceptable from a coaching standpoint.
All right, well, let's keep pounding with these calls then.
Hey, guys, guess what? I ain't got to see no one wear number 1 or number 59 because I'm blind. Wow.
Joey's hilarious.
All right, here he goes again.
Hey, guys, Joey. I don't know if you guys are going to be off of that subject by the time you get around to my call, but I'm going to tell you something about retiring numbers. I'd say don't retire the number unless they retire as a Panther, which it kind of sucks because you can't retire the number 1 based on that because Cam Newton's still playing and he hasn't retired as a Panther. Like,
how could you, right?
You could retire Luke. You could retire Steve Smith. You could retire Thomas Davis. You can retire Greg Olsen.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't even know if Smith retired as a Panther. I think he did. But, yeah, that's basically the criteria should be the player should be retired and the player should have retired as a Panther. Anyway, guys.
That has to be a qualification. Right?
Wow.
Like, if you don't retire a Panther, if you don't sign the 1-day contract, you don't get the, like, you're not even considered. I agree with that.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, last call of the night.
Hey guys, it's Chuck from Luba City. It's late tonight, but I was perusing the internet and I just found out that breaking news on the New Orleans Saints website, the new concession stands at the Superdome, they've got some new items. They just discovered the recipe for ice, and that's really big for the Saints fans. Now they can have cold drinks now that they know what the recipe for ice is.
I don't even know what that means. Can y'all fill me in?
He said that they're not even smart enough to know how to freeze water until just recently.
You know, to I guess, I don't know. I heard that Zion has had 3 coaches in 3 years as the best draft pick they've ever had. Anthony Davis won an out. New Orleans basketball is dysfunctional. Hopefully, New Orleans football will become dysfunctional. That's what I'd say. All right. C3 Panthers podcast brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com. The number is 252-228-5098. Every Tuesday night, we hanging out here. Longest running Panthers podcast. You should subscribe, iTunes, tune in, Stitcher, smash the thumbs up button. Do those things for us, man. Those small things. I'm telling you, turn your phone, landscape, if that's what it takes, whatever. That smallest thing is just telling one friend about this podcast. Actually, it's the biggest thing. It's not the smallest thing. It's the biggest thing. Like, if you gave me $10 right now, that would be nice. But you know, it'd be cooler. A thumbs up, a share, talking about a friend. I promise you, man, the $10 is not, I mean, first, I would be thankful for it, but I don't want the money. We're doing this to grow Panther Nation, and we're trying to grow this Panther podcast over the last 9 years. The last segment is the ice up picks, where we tell someone to ice up, toughen up to get it together. Does anybody got something to go first?
I do, but mine's kind of low hanging fruit if anyone wants to go first.
No, we need you. We're all stumbling and fumbling.
Dude, I'm icing up. I'm icing up. And by the way, I used to be a big super fan. Dude, I am icing up.
Is that Conor McGregor?
Conor McGregor, dude.
Man, the dude got his leg broke. Man, that's not his fault,
so
bro.
What? I'm not even talking.
He got kicked in the shin. They fractured. He stepped back and he broke back. He was
That's not even what I'm talking
leg.
about. What I'm talking about is even after you've been fucked up, hurt, had your leg broke, okay, you have now lost to Dustin Poirier 2 times, and after he breaks his leg, he's sitting against the side of the octagon talking more trash to Dustin Poirier, talking about, oh, your wife was in my DMs and this and that. Like, bro, you just lost. You look fucking pathetic laying on the ground, and you just had your ass fucking humiliated. And by the way, he was getting entirely beaten up that entire first round with Dustin Poirier on top of him, landing elbows, landing punches. Dude, Conor McGregor, he doesn't have that championship drive. He hasn't won. He's only won 1 fight since Obama was in office. Like, this guy's all talking all kinds of trash.
That's
like,
dude,
I mean, listen, like, yeah, shout out Ten Tizzy, man. Me and Ten Tizzy, we're talking about this last Friday during the Friday free for all, man. It's like, not only was your trash talking tired then, but you didn't back up any of the shit that you said you were going to, and you're looking like a pathetic, salty ass sore loser hanging out on the side of the octagon while Dustin Poirier is walking out victorious. Bro, that sucker shit all the way around, continuing to bring up people's like family and stuff. It's just dumb, bro. I can't stand it. I went from being a Conor super fan to just hoping someone annihilates him every single time he fights. So yeah, to Conor McGregor, a pussy who punches old men at bars when they refuse a shot of his terrible whiskey. So to Conor McGregor, ice up, son. You deserve it.
My ice up goes to people who are unwilling to recognize that we have kind of witness perspectives on events. And so if you ever watch this show, I guess I would suggest it. And that is to watch, I think it was Showtime or HBO, one of the two. It was called The Affair. And it was written in a cool way. And also Black Summer, which is on Netflix, which is a zombie show where zombies run fast. The one thing I don't like about this show is that zombies are fucking athletic as fuck. And the whole kind of, safety I felt was if there was a zombie apocalypse, I could outrun them. Right, yeah. And so the Black Summer shit really fucks me up because these motherfuckers are running fast, so it does fuck me up. But it's kind of filmed in the same way. It's filmed in the same exact way. It's like from Ashley's position, from this position. The Affair was awesome about this. So they would look at an event, the same exact event, and people be wearing different clothes. They'd be doing different things. And it's true, like the witness perspective is different, right? Like when we encounter an event, we all have our perspective. My ice up goes to people who can't recognize that those perspectives can differ. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that when you say my perspective is the only perspective, sometimes we're married to these people. Anyway, that's my ice up.
Sometimes we're married.
That's it. Next person. Next clip. Next person.
I'm done. I don't have anything.
I sent up CK for not having
That's right.
I just, my God, I'm the worst, man. I'm the worst.
You don't got something, man. You don't got anything. Like nothing made you mad in your life this week.
I mean, my job makes me angry,
Chick-fil-A late on. You didn't get your DoorDash late or something?
Oh, I have shingles. So,
wow, ice shingles up. God
yeah, ice that shit up.
Are you 90?
Yeah, dude. Apparently.
Yeah, I just realized I've never heard like a young person with shingles before.
Yeah,
I know you're younger than me. All right.
I have shingles. So that's
well,
fine.
ice up shingles, and he met on his roof, and he needs some repaired shingles.
Did you ever have chicken pox?
Yes, I did as a kid.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Oh, isn't that fucked up? How about that? Is that I'm icing up kids that don't have to have chicken pox no more. Isn't that awesome, man? My kids never had chicken pox. It's like the coolest fucking thing ever.
Do you remember? I don't know if you ever had to deal with this, but like I got chicken pox no, somebody else got chicken pox, and my mom was like calling him, "Hey, can I bring Cody over to get chicken pox?"
Chicken pox parties, man. It's fucked up, ain't it? It's fucked up. Let's get everybody COVID together. You know what? We should have all gotten COVID together right away.
Get that herd immunity immediately, right
away.
Yeah.
Just fucking give me the COVID. I'm under 60. I'll take it. All right. It's the C3 Panthers podcast brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com. Smash the thumbs up button. Call in 252-228-5098. Follow me on Twitter at @cat_chronicles. Cody, how can they get up with you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at CodyLac, CodyLac. And listen, I want everyone in the fan base to know this, man. Friday free-for-alls every Friday at 7, and you can join the show. I will be posting the link to the StreamYard in the chat. And the whole point of the show, I know it's going to be kind of low numbers, right now during the off season, but especially once the
season blows up, it's going to blow the fuck up.
That's what I'm telling you. So everybody needs to know, write it down in your books. I'm willing to talk shit with anyone and everyone. You can say whatever.
You don't even have to get your face on the camera. You can just come on audio.
100%. You don't have to have your face on camera. You can just come on audio. Also, this is a way, like during the middle of the season, like we'll have 30 plus cat calls, right? So I kind of figured that this is a way for us to kind of mitigate that too. If you have something you want to say, specifically, you can come on, say your piece and whatever, and we'll still have our cat calls on Tuesday. But it's for the fans, man. I want to do this for Panthers fans and let all of you continue to be heard. On all your feelings about this great Panther football team that we all love.
We're going to put it out there. We're going to put it out there is that these opportunities to hang out with Cody and this live stream as well as the post game and this and that. We're gonna have to start putting limits on the number of calls from the same number, right? So like in the post game, I don't know what the limit is. Is it gonna be 2 calls? Is it gonna be 1 call? But you guys have been so great that we're actually getting to that point, which is amazing. CK, how can they hang out with you, bro?
You can find me on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Twitter, all the socials at Codizzle Allen. Sometimes there's an underscore between Codizzle and Allen. So hit me up, and we'll be playing some games. I'm going to be starting to play GTA RP probably this week or next week. So it'll be a fun time if you guys are interested in checking that out.
All right. We'll see you next Tuesday. Until then, keep pounding. Fuck the Falcons. Fuck the Saints. Check us out next week. Take us out.